Prediction Markets Edge right here on the early line. It's a Thursday. College basketball, of course, taking center stage. NBA action, we'll get to that, and many more hot topics. A different way to invest your money, Joe. Get in, get out, and get paid. Donnie right side along with Joe Ranieri. Fired up for this half-hour edition of Prediction Markets Edge.
I'm ready, Donnie, because we've got, madness upon us, Donnie, more than anything else. And I am looking very forward to getting it going here. So let's do it, man. We got some big games coming up here today.
A lot of games early today, a lot of games late, a lot of games in total, which is what we'd love to see. That appetizer, Joe, before we get to Selection Sunday, and then the official start of March Madness in Dayton for the first four next week. Let's get down to the ACC, Tobacco Road, Clemson taking on North Carolina. North Carolina currently trading to win this game, Joe, at a 51% chance. Clemson at 49%. If you want to flip it over and take the spread on this game, North Carolina by 1.5 points, which means they have to win by a bucket, currently trading at a 45% chance. The total in this game, Joe, let's set at 140.5, and that's trading also at a 50% chance. What are we thinking today, Joe? North Carolina, Clemson.
Well, I think there's a correlation here, Donnie, when it comes to these two teams. And the first thing that I would say is that I absolutely believe if you like North Carolina in this spot, you are likely looking at more points, not less points. But if you like Clemson, then Clemson has got to make this thing a rock fight. That's what they love to do. Make it a half-court game. Go ahead and limit the wide-open threes from the perimeter. Vassar's going to be a big problem for Clemson, but they've got the athleticism there to be able to contend in the paint, but they cannot get into some crazy shootout with North Carolina and think they're going to win. So I do think that Clemson has enough here to possibly pull the upset, although at a pick-em price, Donnie, what are we really talking about here? I think Clemson can win this game outright.
And if Clemson can win this game outright, certainly you'll be paid accordingly. But if you think, let's just say Carolina wins this game and you get into a foul fest late, you can use the slider here on the County Marketplace, Joe. Slide it up to 7.5 points. A $100 wager would pay you back $250 here on that investment for North Carolina. Let's flip it over to the Big 12. TCU taking on Kansas, Joe. Kansas is the favorite, currently trading at a 69% chance going up against TCU. TCU, the underdog, of course, trading at a 31% chance. If we look at the point spread, Joe, 5.5 as a favorite by Kansas, trading currently at 50% as a chance in the total. Let's set 141.5 here. TCU, Joe, the one thing we know, not great on offense. Kansas has a potential top overall pick in the NBA draft. What gives today?
Yeah, I kind of like, listen, TCU has been a little undervalued in the market, Donnie. We know Kansas and what they're capable of, right? But TCU has been surprising everybody. I mean, Jamie Dixon is one of the better coaches in the Big 12 and in college basketball altogether. It's not the most flashy group of kids that he has here, Donnie, in this team. But you know what they do is they make big shots when the game matters the most. But more importantly, they're going to bring some defense in this game here. I tend to lean towards the under. I think this is going to be a rock fight today. This is one of the games I'm looking forward to. And of course, is Darren Peterson playing? Is he not playing? How long does he play? A lot of questions here still with Kansas.
Absolutely. If you do think the game is going to stay under, you slide that down just a little bit lower, Joe, to 135.5. Now you got yourself some plus money. $100 investment pays back $209 if the game stays under 135.5 points. Rutgers going to take on UCLA today. And look, if you're looking at just a money line victory or a chance to win this, UCLA, 85% chance is the trade point right now that they will win this basketball game. Rutgers, a paltry 15%. But if you say to yourself, I don't know if I just want to go winner or loser, let me take a look at the point spread in this game. 11.5 as a favorite for UCLA, currently trading, Joe, at a 48% chance.
I don't know how Rutgers keeps winning games here, and getting into this spot is kind of laughable here when you think about it. But hey, they won last night. They beat what I thought was a pretty good Minnesota team there. They made the buckets when it matters the most, and now could they got a little something going? Listen, UCLA is the better team. But UCLA all year long, anytime they've had to leave the West Coast time zone, has been a little iffy, Donnie, and there's been a lot of question marks about him. Ultimately, I think talent wins out, but I'm not running to the window to lay this number either with UCLA. Ultimately, this is likely staying way under the point total, though, given what we know about UCLA's defense with Mick Cronin and, quite honestly, the sporadic offense of Rutgers.
Now, understand this, too. If you think Rutgers has a legitimate chance to win this game, Joe, they're probably going to have to be leading at the half. And even if they are, there's no guarantees they can win this game. If you think Rutgers comes out a little bit hot, Joe, how about trading at 21% here to win the first half? A $100 investment would pay you back $358 if the Scarlet Knights can hang around in this one. Let's flip it over to the association tonight. Philadelphia, the 76ers, going to take on the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are trading right now to win this game, Joe. 88% chance. Philadelphia at 12%. Why? We don't even know who's playing for the Philadelphia 76ers tonight, which includes Kelly Oubre, who got a mysterious MRI, puts him out a couple more weeks. But the favorite in this game, Joe, 15.5 points for the Pistons, currently trading at 49% as a chance.
I don't like laying this number with the Pistons, Donnie, in any way, shape, or form. But, I mean, Philadelphia is coming off a game against Memphis where they dropped almost 140 points, right? So I felt that this game, the total was a little low. We know Cade Cunningham and company is going to get theirs. They just dropped 138 on Brooklyn here. So we know they're going to be able to get their points. I still think Philadelphia will be able to score in this one. I think this 220.5 number, way too low for me. I think the over, very, very much a solid play in this one.
How about this one? You want a little plus money in your pocket as Joe thinks that the Philadelphia 76ers should be able to score and say, well, who might be doing that scoring? How about VJ Edgecombe, Joe? I used the slider and put it at 20-plus points tonight. How about a $100 investment pays back $218 for just 20 points from a guy who probably is going to get at least 20 shots off tonight? Use your noggins, people. Let's see if we can make some of this money here. Miami taking on Milwaukee. We just talked about this game. I told you I like Milwaukee to cover the line because everybody's lining up on those Miami Heat tickets here. And by the way, Miami to win this game, trading currently at a 69% chance. Milwaukee at a 31% clip here. Spread here, 50% trading at 6.5 points. Exactly where it sits here, Joe. Down on South Beach tonight, Bucks taking on the Heat.
Well, let's just look at the last 4 games of Miami, shall we? They scored 126, 128, 121, and 150, while Milwaukee has given up 129, 130, and they held Utah, amazingly, to under 100 points. The bottom line to me is I am going Miami team total up and over here. Milwaukee is not going to stop this offense of Miami defensively, and likely the Bucks are going to get their share of points in this one too. So nothing but overs, team totals, and full game for me.
All right, Joe. I'm on the Kalshi Marketplace right now, and you know the focal point tonight, Bam Adebayo. Last game we watched him was 83 points. Say what you want, 83 is 83. A little bit of, hijinks late in that fourth quarter, fouling this direction to try to get him the extra points, but he got to 83. The slider only goes up, Joe, to 35-plus points tonight for Bam Adebayo. And we also asked earlier in the early line, 22.5 is his points prop total. So if you bump it up, let's just say 2 touchdowns, which 35 off of 83 doesn't sound that bad. A $100 investment, Joe, pays back $1,112. So there's 2 thought processes, right? They're setting you up, Bam's going to get 17 points tonight. Or does he go, I saw a lot of people saying, making some comments where I didn't get this officially. Well, let me go out tonight and show you. Not for 80 again, but maybe pops a 40 spot, Joe, to sort of back that up, and you could put a decent amount of money in your pocket here.
Listen, it's
interesting.
He's feeling it right now. He is absolutely feeling it. But I tend to think if you're going to do anything with Bam, look for points and rebounds. Whatever his points and rebounds prop, whatever that number might be, he's going to get his share of the boards. He's also got to guard Giannis.
It's great stuff as it turns out tonight, but different ways to invest your money, of course. And also, Joe, NFL free agency underway right now. Let's take a look at some NFL markets coming up next right here on Prediction Markets Edge. Prediction Markets Edge right here on the early line for a Thursday. And we just told you the tampering period is done. Free agency is underway. Then we look towards the draft, OTAs. Then we get to training camp and the regular season. Before you know it, a Thursday night football game with the Seattle Seahawks will be upon us here. So it's never too early to take a look at the predictive markets, Joe, and try to predict who's going to win the NFL championship next year. The favorite currently right now on Kalshi is Seattle at a 10% chance. Basically, everybody's in the same boat. Rams, 9%, Buffalo, 8%, KC, 8%, so on and so forth. But the question here, Joe, the two favorites right now are from the same division in the NFC West, Seattle and Los Angeles.
Well, listen, you don't win. You can win free agency. Doesn't mean you're going to win anything, right? Yep. So you're not winning a championship here now in March. But having said that, it's very hard, Donnie, not to be impressed with what the Rams have done thus far here, addressing the issues in the secondary on the defensive side, and the amount of talent that they have coming back. And again, Stafford MVP year, and what he is still playing at an unbelievable level. It's kind of hard not to be excited about the Rams' chances. And right now you can lock it in at what, 9%, Donnie? 9%. That's a pretty good investment if you're asking me, because we all know how hard it is to run it back and go back-to-back in Super Bowls.
Joe, I got a way to make a $4 profit off a $100 investment. Would you like to hear about it right now?
Shoot.
Let me tell you about it here. Since 1995, the Dallas Cowboys have not even appeared in an NFC championship game, let alone get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. If you invest today, a $100 investment in the Dallas Cowboys to not win the Super Bowl, you get $4 back, Joe. So, yeah, you got to hold it for about a year, but you do get $4 back. That sounds like something that you might be interested in.
No. Because, no, absolutely not. But I just don't want to tie it up for that long. But I think as we get a little bit closer, Donnie, right, and we can squeeze the time here a little bit that we have to have that invested. Yeah, absolutely one of those markets that might be considered, shall we say, a little some free money there.
You ever see the meme where you shovel money into the furnace here and just burn it here? Look, I can't quit Baltimore, Joe. Currently trading at 6% right now. $100 investment pays back $1,429 to win the Super Bowl. I can never give it up. Maybe one day it will happen here, Joe. But let's focus here and go on the NFC Championship winner. We'll remove the AFC from the picture. The favorites, once again, it's Seattle and it's Los Angeles, Joe, toe-to-toe all season long.
Yeah, again, I would look to fade Seattle. I would look to back the Rams, because I still think that division, crazy enough, right? Sorry, Donnie, with your NFC East there, although I think the Giants will be better, and I think Philadelphia is still going to be in a conversation. But I think that's the class. I think those two teams are the two teams that everyone else has got to worry about, especially, I think, what the Rams have done here so far in the offseason.
By the way, good. The NFL with their parity, they do a really good job of it, Joe. And take a look at the AFC right now. Look at the chances to win the AFC. Buffalo 15, Kansas City 14, Baltimore 13, the Chargers 12, New England 11, Denver 10. Love, if we did this in, let's just say, Major League Baseball, Dodgers way up top, 50, 60% or whatever it would be at this point. You don't get that here. Same thing in the NBA. It's okay, so you might run away with it here. Look at the parity in the AFC, man. It's pretty incredible. If you had a choice today in AFC championship markets, who would your choice be, Joe?
Yeah, it's interesting, Donnie, because it's still wide open, but can we really look at what Kansas City has done here, knowing that Mahomes will be back at some point? Year off maybe, but they are loading up. They got the MVP now in their backfield. They addressed the issues. They got a different approach on the defensive side. Call me crazy here, but maybe, just maybe, Kansas City's on its way back.
You know, it's interesting to look at this, too, because the AFC champion last year was the New England Patriots, but a lot of people saying that, it's just a schedule as it turns out, because they are 1, 2, 3, looks like sixth in the marketplace. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth in the marketplace, excuse me, trading at 11% right now. I think they're still a good football team. I don't think they're going to run away with the East and they're going to have like a home field advantage all the way through. But Denver also is an interesting choice as well, where they might have been the Super Bowl contenders if their quarterback had just stayed healthy, and they trade at 10%. So a lot of fun to look at the AFC. And also, the AFC dealing with those Vegas Raiders and Max Crosby's next team. Now, the interesting part here is before the trade went down, Max Crosby saying his goodbyes, it's time to move on. Everybody agreed, and he was shipped off to the Baltimore Ravens and happy to be a Raven. A few days later, he's no longer a Raven. But what we thought, Joe, would happen is he goes back to the Raiders, maybe in a holding pattern. We'll get you out of here in a couple days. Well, Max Crosby now big on social media saying, happy to be a Raider, love to be back. It's time to get down to business. So the question is, you can invest in Max Crosby's next team. If you feel it's Vegas or retires, that's 80%. And that's really jumped up over the past couple hours because Max Crosby, again, on social media saying he's happy to be a Raider once again. Dallas out there, Washington out here, maybe a chance at the Philadelphia Eagles, Joe. Are we believing Max Crosby's tweets that he's going to be back with the Vegas Raiders?
I thought it was interesting what he tweeted out, right? Everything happens for a reason. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. I'm a Raider and I'm back. And listen, it is a whole new regime there going on with the Las Vegas Raiders here. I'm wondering if what the Ravens did it raise enough red flags about his health and his moving forward? Is it something we should be concerned with here? I don't think so. I think he'll be back with a chip on his shoulder. It's not like he's not getting the $112 million the Raiders gave him anyway. So, yeah, maybe he does remain a Raider, Donnie. I don't think that's out of the question the way things have turned out right now.
By the way, because I think the way it's setting up, Joe, is what you're talking about. But for me, always to be like that contrarian, because there are some things like, hey, Max, I know you want to leave. We want to trade you as well and get some compensation. Let's play it off this way. You're happy to be back. Your rehab's going great. And then when teams might re-engage, Joe, before the draft, now you have that bidding process around. Because keep in mind, it's free agency. There wasn't a window of like 3 or 4 days, Joe. They had to move this guy or they could never move him again. I think this works out well because if you take a no bet, which basically means the field outside the Raiders retires, a $100 investment, Joe, pays back $500. So for me, I do think over the next month as we lead up to the draft, where there's smoke, there could be fire, and he still could be on the move. But this works out best for both him and also the Raiders in the meantime, Joe.
Listen, short term, all right, let it be. It is what it is, right? Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. He's still under contract, let's not forget. But a lot can happen after the draft, Donnie. You're right about that.
Absolutely. Prediction Markets Edge right here on the early line on a Thursday on the SportsGrid Network. Rolls along. More hot topics. Come on back. It's Oscar season. We're going to talk about that right now on Prediction Markets Edge right here on the early line on a Thursday. Why, Joe? Because the Oscars finally going to take place this Sunday here. So the question is who is going to attend? And you can look at those investments in the Kalshi marketplace. Hudson Williams, Kylie Jenner, Leonardo DiCaprio, Zendaya, Ryan Gosling, Sean Penn, and many, many more, Joe. So for you, obviously, some of these people are up for awards. They'll probably be in attendance, but some of these won't. Any value, Joe, in attending the Oscars for you on this list here?
Yeah, everyone who's nominated, Donnie. Let's just not mess around. Just if you think they've got a role in a movie or a part or any or up for any award, yeah, you're not going to get rich off of it, Donnie. But like you said, you don't have to invest the money all that long since this is coming up. And it's right around the corner. But you'd be hard-pressed to find some of those people not showing up to pat themselves on their back.
I got a question for you on this one, because this one's going to be interesting. And this person right now is trading, Joe, at 21% chance to be in attendance. It's Haley Steinfeld. The reason I bring her up, that's the wife of Josh Allen, but also one of the stars in the movie Sinners, which is doing big box office here, getting a lot of awards. Does she show up because she's pregnant here and upset here? Because a $100 investment pays back $477 if she's there on this big night and brings Josh Allen. What are your thoughts on that? Or is it just like, no. She's pregnant. She's eventually going to have a kid, probably going to take a little bit easier. But this is the biggest night of the year in the movie industry. I think she might show up, Joe. Am I stupid to say that or what?
No, and he might be there with her. So, yeah, I got, definitely. I mean, listen, this is like the industry. You know, this is the night. If you're going to show up at any one of these ridiculous things where everyone just, high fives themselves here and celebrates what, I have no idea. But maybe, just maybe, this is the one that you have to go to, especially if your movie is nominated, right, Donnie? I mean, that when you're a part of a movie that's nominated for Best Picture, you got to be there.
You do got to be. And also understand this. Wait for those tweets that come out. Packing for L.A. this weekend or wherever the Oscars are going to be held out there. So that'll be fun to watch it play out. And also keep an eye. I think it might be interesting in a market movement here. Here's a great topic we're going to talk about now also through Kalshi. Will members of Congress be banned from trading stocks before 2027, before 2029? Understand this. The reason people get into Congress is not to actually serve the people. It is to get filthy rich. So once they get into that club where they can vote on that club, no shot. Members of Congress will always be able to trade stocks because that's why they get into the business, Joe. Am I wrong?
Yeah, well, no, you're not wrong there, Donnie. And that appears to be the trend here since, the beginning of time here. But this is a fun one, right? Because this is not really an information market like the, who won the pre-tape show kind of thing where everyone already knows the answers. This is something that is going to move with different committees meeting and headlines, endorsements. Will any of these bills that are out there right now trying to ban this, will they gain traction? I think the best play is the no before 2027 because I just don't see everyone getting on the same page by then. But I do think that before January 21st, 2029, I think that might be the smarter investment across the board, but I don't see anything happening this year, Donnie, not at all.
It's amazing. Like you are on like a panel that gets to go in and be like, hey, by the way, we're going to approve Visa as the official Visa is the initial credit service of the United States military. We're going to give them all Visa cards, but keep that under wraps. And you go out and be like, hey, I'm going to buy 5,000 shares of Visa. Wow. Next week, look what happened. The stock doubled at this point. That's what they all do. It's ridiculous. There's no way they're going to vote against that to stop that pipeline of money that continues to flow here. Times Person of the Year. You know who the favorite is right now, Joe? It's Donald Trump at 24% as a chance. You know who's in second place? Bad Bunny at 15%. AI, Elon Musk, the Pope, ChatGPT. But Trump right now listed as the favorite, Joe. Fade or follow, as they like to say in this market.
Well, good. Can't we just put Taylor Swift on the cover and call it a day? And
6%,
just see,
Joe.
And be done with
6%.
it? Yeah, I just saying, she's got, her future husband coming back to play for the Chiefs. Maybe, just maybe, a new album. A lot of things can happen here with T Swift. I wouldn't doubt it at all. After all, it is about selling, magazines, I guess, right? Do people still buy those, Donnie? I don't even know.
I don't know. We used to get Sports Illustrated there. He's like, hey, it's a week
Mhm.
late, but it's fantastic. That's no longer the case. But yeah, like, how do you get it? Like, this time have a special commemorative issue? And also out there, Joe,
Right.
you're right about this. Does anybody have a subscription to Time where it actually gets delivered weekly to their house anymore? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, and the only reason anybody ever had a Sports Illustrated subscription was for the swimsuit,
Uh-oh.
and that was the end of that. So I'm just saying. But yeah, I'd be, and I wouldn't sleep on AI also somehow finding its way to the
Yeah.
cover there.
Exactly. You never know. And also, Joe, does anybody get like the TV guide still to check what channel things are going to appear on tonight? That's how
Ooh.
to get down to business. That's another edition of Prediction Markets
The
Edge
articles.
right here on the early line. We'll see you tomorrow.